for this discussion today, I read a comic that I found online, and it's by Europe Comics.
I have not heard of Europe Comics.
Right,
That's
so you haven't
totally
even
new to
heard of
me.
the publisher. So this is a pretty new series. It came out maybe a week and a half ago. It came out this month. Um, it's called Cosplay, written by Maribel Conejero and Matthias Istolainen. As far as I know, I think that they're both. I'm assuming they're both French, considering this entire story takes place in France. But so this story basically just involves. Um, they do a lot of references, pop culture references, Marvel, DC, just anything comic book related. They just throw all that stuff in there because the story begins with this kid is being interrogated by this commissioner who looks just like Commissioner Gordon. Most characters don't really get a name, and uh, they're just kind of go by whatever they're cosplaying as, or the commissioner here just goes by commissioner. Is Commissioner Gordon here is interrogating this 14-year-old boy dressed up as Batman, and he asks him who he is, and the kid just says that he's Batman, and he won't give him his real name. Um, and that's where the story starts. The whole story is him telling the commissioner what he's been through today, and the kid has like blood all over his face, and he's gonna tell his story.
This is an interesting setup already. So I imagine throughout the story you're going to see a bunch of different characters from other things, but it's not really them. It's people like cosplaying as them.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit more about it, and so yeah, some like I said, some of the characters don't even have names outside of what they're cosplaying as. So when I refer to characters like this kid, I'll probably just refer to as Batman, because he cosplays as Batman in the story, and for the light, I don't know if they name him. They might, but they don't really use names in this story. There's a lot of characters, so it'd be way too much to remember. So just see what they're dressed as, and you just call them that. This kid's 14. He's obsessed with Batman. You see his room, and he's got Batman posters and figures and junk all over the place. Very homemade costume he makes here. Um, it's probably like cardboard, and he uses a hair dryer for the grappling gun. Apparently, it's a functioning grappling gun. He actually puts like a hook in there and everything.
Say that's impressive. Does it dive into like how he's able to like make stuff?
Not much. It does show he's very serious about being prepared, and he carries like a glue gun in his bat belt, and his belt is just filled with like repair kits for cosplay suits, um, that he ends up using to help other people at the cosplay convention. Um,
Mm.
and you will find out later the grappling hook, it's semi-functional. He tries it out, and it doesn't do exactly what he wanted, but it's still pretty impressive for a grappling hook made out of a hair dryer. I don't know how he made that work. But we get to meet his family as he's messing around, and his brother opens the door and starts like talking about how he looks like an idiot, and then he closes the door on him, and his brother starts yelling and gets the whole family involved. It all culminates in him being like really just saying like really stupid stuff to his family. Gets mad at him. He's like, why are you like dressed up in cosplay, man? You got to be focusing on school. What's going on? Which is weird that they say that, because later on they end up going to meeting him up at the convention anyway. He ends up arguing with them and saying like, I wish I was an orphan like Batman. And I just thought that was a little goofy.
It is very goofy. I wonder maybe if they had jumped into like how he's doing at school or something like that, it would have made it more interesting. Like if they said that like he's not doing well in school, but he's clearly smart because he can do stuff like make the grapple hair dryer thing, then they could try and argue like a you're wasting your potential kind of thing. But just saying why aren't you going to school when everybody's going to the convention? I agree, it doesn't make any.
It doesn't make any sense. We do get at the end of the story. He mentions that he passes his classes and everything, but he also says that like everybody passes the classes at this school. I just want to make sure I do well so I can go to a good high school. So I mean, I guess he's trying to do well in school. Yeah, the parents. He said some stupid junk. The parents were kind of freaking out for no reason, but we meet up with his friends as they're heading out the door for the convention. He was just finishing up his costume. He has this friend who is he's a short, heavy set kid who's dressed up as Obi-Wan, and he's got apparently 600 euro lightsaber. That's how much it costs. Apparently, it's very expensive. He's just talking all about Star Wars to him, and they head out and they go to this bus stop, and then shortly after they sit down at the bus stop, these guys come up to him, clearly like 25-year-old, 30-year-old men, just start fucking around with him. I don't know why they're bullying these guys, but they come up to these kids and they want to steal the Obi-Wan's lightsaber. Right as they're doing that, Batman kid has he imagines himself beating these guys up, and it turns out he was just standing there like an idiot, and they just like push him down and take the lightsaber. And now he lost his 600 euro lightsaber before they've even gotten to the convention.
I like the concept of him having a dream sequence action scene because it lets the artist, I imagine, show something really cool, but without like breaking the reality that they're trying to illustrate through the story.
They actually do that. They do that again later on in the story. We'll just kind of skip through the rest of the part because they just get to the convention. This convention's in Paris, and we meet the rest of the characters there. There's this girl who she's actually not cosplaying. She's the only main character that isn't in cosplay. She's actually a vlogger, and she apparently knows the Batman kid and the Obi-Wan kid. They all know each other. They're all around the same age, and Batman has a crush on the vlogger girl. Then we meet Batman's other friend. So we met his Jedi friend, and then now we meet his other friend who's dressed in a Pikachu onesie, and this guy's whole deal is that he's just perving on everybody, and that's his whole thing.
The Master Roshi of the group.
Exactly. That's all. That's kind of all he does. We just get him going up to like a Harley Quinn and saying like, "Yeah, I love how you show off your curves in the outfit, whatever." He's that kind of character. He's nothing new. There's characters like that all over the place. And then we meet this who's kind of like I would consider him an antagonist, maybe partially. He doesn't really do much to help the protagonist in this, and in fact seems to dislike the protagonist. We have this Iron Man guy. He's in a very high quality Iron Man suit. He apparently also knows all the rest of the kids, but he looks a little bit older. I'd say at the youngest, he's maybe 17, because they're all here to participate in an under 18 cosplay contest. So he has to be he can't be any older than 17, but he's probably around there because he's much bigger than everybody else. And he's kind of a jerk. He clearly purchased this costume, but he pretends like he made it himself. He is just making fun of the rest of the kids, and people come up to him from the booths and are trying to get them interested in his product, and he's like, "Yeah, I really don't give a shit about your product, man. I'm just here to get attention."
So, what makes it like really obvious that he didn't build the suit?
So everybody already suspects that he didn't build the suit, and it's too high quality for him to have made it himself, being like a 17-year-old kid. He's just some idiot. I mean, but we get know for sure later on because he basically says, "You know how much money I spent on this?" He admits to buying it, but the idea is that it looks too good to have been built by hand. I mean, it looks just like Iron Man's suit out of the movie. Yeah, there's no way that he built that himself.
Oh, you mentioned earlier how the Batman cosplay was like you could tell was very handmade. Did you mention the quality of the Obi-Wan one? Because I know that guy spent a lot of money on the lightsaber. What does his costume look like?
I mean, his costume looks fine. He, he's not wearing the right pants. He looks like he's wearing leggings, but that may just be due to his body type. But Jedi costume in general wouldn't be too expensive to get it to look accurate, to like buy all the pieces, which is likely what he did because it's just robes and stuff, right? I mean, it looks fine. It looks accurate. He didn't. He obviously. It doesn't look like he made it himself, but he bought like individual pieces and customized it, I guess. Whereas with the Iron Man suit, that's just you would buy the whole thing. You know, none
Makes
of
sense.
none of that was like customized by him. I don't think the Pikachu guy or the Jedi guy are participating in the contest anyway, so there's not like any rules for what they can do. Um, I think just the Batman kid is here to participate, and then the Iron Man guy is participating in that. Um, we see that the Jedi kid did buy a new lightsaber. It I think it's cheaper. This one looks like it's a microphone
Oh,
with a lightsaber handle. Um, that's important. I mentioned that because he ends up using the lightsaber for something later. It's a little bit confusing right now because later it looks like that he got his old one back, but I think it may just be an error in writing. But for now, he's purchased his own temporary lightsaber,
I think
and
it's neat that it's a microphone.
yeah, that's as far as that's what it looks like. He's got the handle, and then it's got like an orb at the top of it. Looks like a microphone. They're at lunch, and at lunch we get to meet Captain France, who is this really nerdy kid. He's apparently he's like another level of nerd that the main group of boys don't like him because he's like nerdier than they are.
Mm.
But he comes to apparently he hangs out with them at every convention, even though they don't like him. Um, Captain France is actually a very important character in this book, but we'll get to that when it happens. Um,
Is Captain France like a original character?
yeah, he's not like the Marvel Captain France from like the European superhero team. He's his own custom superhero. He wears um, like a racing suit with the French flag colors on it, and a racing helmet and stuff like that.
Why do they dislike him? Like just because he's like nerdier? Like what does that mean? I guess that he's like nerdier
Well,
than
how,
them.
how he explains it, it sounds like the main character's just kind of a jerk about it. He says he's always making an ass of himself because I don't know, he doesn't like that he's a smart ass, that he knows all the answers to questions in class. He's extremely patriotic about being French, um, and I guess they just really don't like how excited he is about everything and how nerdy he is. It sounds like the main character is just being a kind of a jerk about that.
Interesting. So far, Captain France, uh, at least to me, seems like the most like likable character. He just wants friends and he's like excited about stuff.
Right. There's nothing wrong with Captain France. I think that's more of a main character problem. I think the main character just is a little shallow about France because Captain France, the idea is he's a little weird, but there's no reason to dislike him. Oh, also during the lunch, the last character we will meet, and he's not, he doesn't stick around very long, but we do meet. I think he's an adult. I don't think he knows any of the guys. But there's this guy dressed as Thor, and he's like drinking alcohol and stuff, getting drunk and junk. So he's just drunk Thor. He'll come into play a little bit later, but we get to meet him. He's a really big, heavy set guy. Really, he's probably like 6'2". He's a big dude. And then we get to the beginning of the conflict in the story. It begins with we have this guy in a blue hoodie who's running away from a bunch of guys in suits. They all have headsets on. They look to be some sort of officials. He ends up running away from them into the convention to try and hide from these guys in suits. So Blue Hoodie Man eventually gets into the convention and he steals a red hoodie and a mask. And so now he's Red Hoodie Man. The hoodie guy leads all these guys in suits into the convention. The guys in suits are not let in at the convention at the door by security because obviously they don't have any tickets. So they break in the back door and they get in anyway. Now we've gotten to the cosplay contest, and it's beginning with the under 18 contest. So that would be for the main group of boys. Here we have the arrival of Batman's family. So the parents and his brother are all there. They showed up there to surprise him. He didn't know that they were coming to the convention. We see Red Hoodie guy who's on the phone with somebody talking, like he's asking for somebody to come like pick him up there as he was running away from these guys, wondering what that's about. And then behind the curtains on stage, we have them waiting to come on stage with their costumes, the under 18 people. And there, in addition, we also meet Wolverine. This Wolverine cosplayer is actually a girl. She actually gets some shit for that from the Pikachu guy later on. And then we have Thanos. I would be skeptical if this guy made his costume as well as the Iron Man guy, because this Thanos costume, it just looks like Thanos from the movie. I mean, he's really big, and it doesn't look like somebody made that. But anyway,
Is he purple?
yeah, he's purple. He's got all the lines on him. He's got the suit, and it all looks just like from the Marvel movies.
That guy's probably gonna win.
He's the only one that is actually there when the contest actually begins. So, assuming he was able to make it out on stage, which I don't think he was, I think he ends up getting locked in a back room or something. Anyway, so the Red Hoodie guy ends up making his way behind the curtains, trying to run away from the suit guys because they've caught up to him. And he goes back there, and now the Red Hoodie guy is back there and leads the suit guys back there as well. Now we have like a standoff because the suit guys have guns, and they're like telling the Red Hoodie guy to just stop and come to them.
I'm a little confused on Red Hoodie guy.
Right.
How do they know that he's Blue Hoodie guy?
I guess it wasn't a
Did
very
they
good
see him
disguise.
split? True, he just changed hoodie color. I did think it was weird to change from a hoodie to a hoodie. I guess I never heard a part in the story where they like recognized that it was like the same dude.
Well, it looks like it may be the Red Hoodie guy's fault because as see here, he's talking to Stan Lee over here, not actually Stan Lee, but guy who looks like Stan Lee, and the leader of the suit guys, who is John Wick. John Wick over here sees him talking to Stan Lee, and then when Red Hoodie guy sees him, he starts running. So that pretty much gives it away.
Yeah.
He pretty much gave himself away with that one. And so now that they're all in this back room, John Wick's waving his gun around, telling him to come with him. There's security back there though, and security tases John Wick, and the security guy and John Wick get in a fight, and now the gun's going off, and the kids are all running, and Red Hoodie guy is running in the same direction as them.
Okay. So far, I'm liking it. I'm curious what Red Hoodie guy did in the first place and who the suit people are.
Right. We'll find out about that soon. So now John Wick has been met by other suit guys, and they've overcome the security guard, and they've also beaten down Thanos because Thanos was in the way. He didn't mean to be. He's in a big lumbering like bodysuit. And so they like knocked all his suit pieces off, and he's falling around on the ground. So they've subdued him as well, and he's locked in a back room with the security guys. But Wolverine girl leads. She's kind of like the leader of the group. She's just like really ready for all this kind of stuff for some reason. And she has, as far as I can tell, she has actual like metal claws that. She has like a gauntlet that shoots out actual metal claws. It's
That
very,
shouldn't be
very
allowed.
serious. Yeah, I wonder how she got in with those. But she leads them to the bathroom where she just immediately knows, hey, there's this vent up here. I'm gonna unscrew the screws with my claws, and we can just sneak out this way, as if she's done this before. I don't know. It's kind of weird. They never bring that up, and they all get into
I
the air
do.
ducts with the red hoodie guy, and they're off.
Interesting. I'm digging it so far. Is this all like a one issue thing, or is this like a multi-issue story?
Well, it's not like issues. I'm pretty sure they just released this as a trade paperback. So yeah, it's just one book.
Oh, okay.
Um, so we have to kind of organize what we have in our group now. We have Vlogger Girl, Wolverine Girl, uh, Jerk Iron Man, Batman, Jedi, Pikachu, Captain France, and Red Hoodie Guy all in the air vents. Now, for some reason, John Wick with all the rest of the guys busts into the bathroom and they see that the air vent grate has been taken off, but they don't follow them into the air vents. I don't know, maybe they're too big and the rest of the group is just small enough to fit in there, but they don't follow them into the air vents. They just kind of turn around and go back the other way. So for the time
Why would
being,
they
they're just
even know to
safe.
check the bathroom?
It's because there's not. I doubt there's a lot of rooms to go into in this back area behind the stage. It's probably just like a one path thing. Like if you go down this hall, there's just a bathroom.
Oh, I see.
It was the only way to go, which is why they had to get into the air vents to continue going that way. But either way, since John Wick chose not to follow them there, they're all safe for now. We see that the rest of the suit guys turn on dampeners, so now nobody in the convention has cell phone signal or internet connection. And as the main group of kids makes their way out of the vent, they are now in a kitchen in the cafeteria area, and the kitchen for some reason is empty, completely empty, and it's like a closed off room, so they're by themselves there, uh, and they're all just talking. And ultimately, we get an explanation from Red Hoodie guy after they're pushing him, and he reveals he has a thumb drive, which is what the guys are chasing him for, and he claims that the thumb drive has important information that proves that this multinational corporation is about to do something that is going to cause like deadly levels of pollution, and so they're trying to get that information back from him.
That makes these like suit guys really wild. Because I was thinking they were gonna be like FBI or like CIA or something. Are they just like corporate goons? Because if so, why do they have like dampeners and stuff?
We'll have to see. We do learn more about them a little bit later. Um, but so far, this is all we're given from Red Hoodie guy. He's got this USB drive, and the suit guys are after that. And they find Thor. Drunk Thor is wakes up in the back of the kitchen. He was actually asleep, drunk in there. After that, one of the suit guys is about to come in, and so they all have to hide because one of the suit guys is checking in the kitchen. So they pull everybody down behind some table in there, and they're still in that room, and the suit guy's going to check the whole room. So there's not really anywhere for them to go. And drunk Thor sees what's about to happen, and so he just busts out from behind the table. He tackles the suit guy, throws him across the room, hits him in the head with his plastic hammer. That doesn't do anything, but it doesn't matter because immediately after that, Thor turns around and smashes a keg on suit guy's head.
Does he kill the suit guy?
No, I'm pretty sure yeah, suit guy will wake up later and tell them what happened. So no. Um,
Okay.
Very surprisingly, because when I saw that, I was like, man, he's got to at least have broken that guy's neck.
That's what I would have thought too. Also, why is drunk Thor at the convention? Like, why is he there just getting like wasted for no reason?
I don't know, because to be honest, as far as I know, like stuff at conventions is really expensive. So like going to a convention just to get drunk seems kind of costly. It's probably like
Or-
13 euro beers.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know, man. He's just having a good time, I guess. He's
I
just
mean,
there
as long as
drinking.
he's having fun.
He's that's just what he wanted to do. He wanted to show people off his basic Thor costume. You know, he looks okay. He's wearing like a black wife beater and some. I didn't notice that, but now he's like the like metal dots on Thor's chest
Yeah.
piece. Yeah, he has CDs on his chest to represent
Oh
those,
gosh.
and he's got like a red blanket for his cape, and he with the pants he's not even trying. Once you get like below the waist, he's not even trying with the suit anymore because he's just wearing like blue track pants. He just gave up halfway through the suit, I guess.
Interesting. Because I was imagining him like fully decked out. But I guess the only fully decked out people we've seen so far are Thanos and Jerk Iron Man.
Yeah, like the really high quality suits so far. Yeah, yeah. There's some like background characters. There's like Superman and stuff like that. Some of the adults background guys that have good suits, but they're not really important. They do keep telling the Iron Man guy later on to just take off the suit because it's really loud because it's like actual metal. So every time he's moving around, it's like constantly clanking everywhere. And if they're trying to hide, it's not going to be very helpful. But he doesn't want to take it off because it's expensive. And also, apparently, he's dating a vlogger girl because he's
Oh.
constantly like, like, hey, Batman, twerp, dork, loser. Why stop looking at my girl? I see how you look at her. She's not gonna like go for somebody like you, man. Have
Does it
to
explain why he's a jerk?
why he's a jerk. I mean, he's just kind of a snobby guy, right? Like he seems like he's just the kind of guy that thinks that he's better than people. He's like, I've got like the better suit than any of you because I had like money to afford this. Maybe he's a rich kid. We don't get too much depth into his character aside from he's been being a jerk the whole time, and it seems like that's how things have been for years because apparently most of this group goes to the convention and sees each other each year, despite most of them only
Oh,
being 14 or so. But I guess they started young.
that's cool. So it's cool to know that they've been doing it for a while. I do hope by the end of the story, Iron Jerk like becomes a better person or redeems himself or something.
I can tell you right now, he does not. No, he does not.
Oh man, does Captain France like get friends by the end or anything? That's another thing I've been holding out for is that they
Maybe,
like him by the end.
but I will tell you, Captain France may be like one of the most important characters. He does do a
Wow.
lot.
Okay,
Um, Here's the
makes sense.
first thing that he actually does here after this scene where drunk Thor beat up the suit guy. Drunk Thor after that immediately passes out and falls asleep again. He had like one hit in him, and that was about it. Uh, but now they're free to leave because the suit man has been subdued.
I'm surprised that Drunk Thor didn't join the group. For a minute, I thought he
Yeah,
was about to be like their muscle or something.
that's what I thought too. I would have enjoyed seeing that, but yeah, he just fell back asleep. Not too surprising there. He was only sober enough to do that one hit, but then fell back into being drunk. So after they're able to leave now freely and make a little bit of room to continue on finding out how they're gonna get out of there. And we see that we're back in the interrogation room, and the detective shows a note that was left on the body of suit guy to ask like, hey, what is this? And we see that the note says, greetings, I have a very particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. Leave now, and that will be the end of it. But if you fail to do as I say, I will look for you, I will find you, and I will kill you. Signed, Captain France.
What?
So Captain France is taking credit for knocking down the suit guy, and he left it there in hopes that the other suit guys find it, and they do. I guess he was trying to see if that would scare off the other guys.
He thought quoting Taken would be enough to stop them.
Yes. Well, remember, like everything in this book is a reference, really. I mean it. So yeah, it's got to be. Also, it looks like we also find out Red Hoodie guy secretly took the gun off of the suit guy. I don't think any of the other kids know that. Um,
Oh, okay.
because we see John Wick and his dudes show up in the kitchen shortly after, find the body, find the note, and find the empty holster. Um, they asked him who did this, which kind of this will kind of nullify the note because the guy is still alive, and he tells him that the Thor guy did this to him.
Oh, do they kill the Thor guy?
No, no, I'm pretty sure we see him later. Um,
Okay.
for some, yeah, they don't kill him. There's a reason that they don't kill him, but we'll find that out in a bit. So now at this point, the security's getting kind of worried about the radio silence from the guy who's locked on the stage. So they're about to head. Some of the outside guys are about to head inside and investigate that until three more goons. We can't tell if they're kind of in shadow, so we can't tell if they're the same suit guys. Three goons show up at that door and shoot both security guards and then go in that back door.
My guess, because you describe them as goons, is that they're the people that Red Hoodie guy called to pick him up.
Yes, you would be correct. These are his guys. So they're all making their way. The main group of kids is making their way down a stairwell now that they found. I think they're trying to go out through the parking garage, and then on the stairwell, not really important, but we get that moment where Pikachu guy is kind of talking shit to Wolverine girls. Like, that's not really like a girl thing to do. Wolverine's not really like a girly character. Just
It's
really
like
really
before
basic shit.
X-23.
What?
This like before X-23, like before there was like a female
No,
Wolverine.
remember this came out. This story came out like a week and a half ago.
Then I'm surprised that Wolverine girl doesn't go. There just is a female Wolverine or whatever.
Well, I guess she's dressed as like Logan though, so I guess he's referring to that. It's still stupid. But he's like 14, 13 or 14, so I guess it's just like an immature thing.
Yeah, I could see that. The way his character's described entirely is like an immature thing.
Right, right. So they're about to head out to the parking garage, and Iron Man like bends down to Batman, and this is where he makes the like threat to him about like, I see the way you've been looking at my girl, you know, so you quit acting like you're the boss of everybody and like bossing me around, telling me what to do, telling me to not wear the suit and stuff. You're just a crybaby loser, trying to play the hero. And then his girl walks up and he's like, "What's going on here?" And he pulls we're just planning stuff together. Nothing going on here. The classic, I didn't do anything wrong.
Why do people in movies never like call BS when people do that?
Because this is it's supposed to be kind of campy. What do you mean, like?
When the guy goes, "Oh, I was just trying to plan stuff with him," and doesn't the Batman guy go, "No, he tried to intimidate me."
Oh, I see. Why didn't
Yeah.
Batman say anything? I feel like that would be kind of a waste to write that. It doesn't matter. It's just a stupid thing to have Iron Man guy do. It wouldn't. Yeah, I think it'd be a waste of time to have the other person try to like call bullshit on him.
I guess the only thing that I could see it doing for the plot is maybe having the girl like consider what they talked about even though she missed it. Like the bully guy thinks he's going to get away scot-free, but if Batman says something like he was trying to intimidate me because he thinks that I'm trying to like get with you, maybe we could then see the girl's reaction to whether or not that's something that she's interested in, or maybe she like scolds the bully guy and it kind of like dissuades him from trying to do it again or something.
Yeah.
More character development for her, I guess.
Right. I mean, we already see like really early on, when he's like over there acting like a jerk, trying to get all the attention and stuff. She kind of seems like disgusted by him. Like, I don't think she doesn't seem to like him very much. She knows he's a jerk. Um, it's just a matter of time until she stops talking to him.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I didn't know that. I wasn't sure if she was like not aware that he was a jerk, or if like he always was putting up some kind of front
Yeah, yeah.
whenever he was with her or something.
No, he's like openly a jerk in like in a group setting. Um, so she knows. See, it's just a matter of time for her. I think they call themselves they end up calling them, giving a name to themselves. I think they go with Comic Con League. They come up with a few different names. I think that's the one they ultimately go with. It doesn't really matter. It's just something fun that they talk about. Now they're in the parking garage, and we see another suit guy blocking the exit door.
So I'm having a fun time so far. Like I'm digging concept for story, and I'm having fun hearing you tell me about the story.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun story. I think some of the dialogue was pretty cheesy. And then, I guess what happens here is the Iron Man guy is in complete disagreement with the rest of them, as they're trying to figure out a way around this security guy, and Iron Man guy's just fed up with it, and he's like, "No, I'm tired of this, like getting us in danger. I don't want to be here. I want to go find a security guard and let them handle this." And looks like Captain France is trying to go in and take care of things by himself. Iron Man like pulls him by the neck, and he's like, "No, we're going to get security. I'm tired of this." Everybody looks to Batman and asking, he's like, "Do you really have a better plan?" And then we see the second time that Batman imagines something happening, and he imagines like the plan of how they all attack him, and he imagines Vlog Girl goes up, distracts Suit Guy. Then Jedi Guy goes up, hits Suit Guy with his lightsaber, and then Pikachu Guy grabs a fire extinguisher and shoots that at the guy, and then Wolverine Girl slashes Suit Guy in the back with the claws, and then Batman jumps down and kicks Suit Guy in face. But of course, none of that happens, and ends up, after he just sits there thinking about all that, Iron Man guy ultimately just leaves and saying like, "Yeah, you don't have a plan." So Iron Man guy is now gone from the group. He just leaves. Um,
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a thing where Iron Man guy like took like leadership. Like I thought when everyone was like, Batman guy, do you have a plan? It was like a picking thing.
yeah, it sounded like that, but I think they were really wanting to see like, see if anybody else has a plan, because nobody agrees with the Iron Man guy. They all really want to help, and he does not, and so he leaves. Nobody goes with him. They do just
I
sit there
do
until they come up with a plan.
do really like the Batman guy's imaginary sequences, but I do feel weird that they asked him and not Wolverine Girl, who so far has seemed to be just the leader. I'm surprised that they asked Batman guy. Like I'm glad they did because he has those cool imaginary sequences. So
Right.
like why would you ask Batman guy?
Because it was his best friend asked him. It was
Ah,
the Jedi guy. I think he just wanted to see if he had any ideas. So it looks like they noticed that Red Hoodie guy actually is broken off from the group too, but he's just across the parking garage trying to sneak up on Suit Guy. Uh, and it almost works, but then Jedi guy has also broken off from the group and is like breaking into a Lego Star Wars van trying to steal Legos. Yes, he just he said, and when he accidentally knocks all the Lego stuff down, making a huge racket, he said, "I gave into the dark side." Um,
I
yeah,
like it.
just gave into his temptation. He just really likes Star Wars stuff, I guess. And then so that gets Red Hoodie guy caught, and then Suit guy also notices the rest of them. Um, so now everybody's caught by him, and he's waving a gun around. And John Wick shows up with the rest of them. So now all the Suit guys have found them, and they're in big trouble. Red Hoodie guy just doesn't give a shit. He disarms the closest Suit guy to him and takes his gun, knocks him down, and pulls the closest kid to him, which happens to be a vlogger girl, and puts the gun up to her head. And he's telling all the Suit guys to drop their guns or he's gonna shoot her.
Okay, so things have gotten heated real quick.
And lots of crazy stuff happens here. Batman doesn't give a shit. He tries to run. He surprisingly, I feel like this should just let everybody know that he's bluffing, because Batman runs at him and tries to stop him, and instead of shooting her like he said he was going to do, obviously he's not going to do that. He just kicks down Batman, and then I don't know where Captain France got this, but Captain France reveals that he has a gun from somewhere. I don't know if he picked it up from somebody.
What?
Yeah, he pulls out a gun on Red Hoodie guy, and he's telling her to let her go or I'll shoot you. So now we have Captain France pointing a gun at Red Hoodie guy pointing a gun at Vlogger, and all these Suit guys pointing a gun at Red Hoodie guy. It's like
Okay,
it's a standoff here. But in all this confusion, he ultimately just decides, Red Hoodie guy just shoots Captain France.
Oh,
So now Captain France is out of the game right now. Is he dead? We don't know. We go back to the cosplay contest, and it's now apparent that none of the contest members are there anymore because they're being called out and nobody's coming out on stage. And because the parents are in the crowd, Batman's parents are there, and they're getting worried because they're like, he should just be back there. Um, so now everybody in the crowd's kind of getting a little worried that something's going on. Um, and Red Hoodie guy's about to actually get away with the vlogger girl in his arm because the suit guys aren't going to shoot. Um, and so Batman comes up with the idea to turn off. He's by the light switches for the garage there, and he turns off all the lights. And a fight ensues in the dark. And then when all the lights are on, a bunch of the suit guys are dead. The Red Hoodie guy has gotten away, but he seemed to have dropped the girl, and the Red Hoodie guy's goons are in the room now, and I think they are the ones who've killed all the suit guys.
second I thought Red Hoodie guy was just really good.
Now, he's got to have the goons for something. And so now, Vlogger Girl's okay. She's been thrown down, and he doesn't have her anymore. The only suit guy left is John Wick. The rest of them are dead. John Wick has been shot though, and he's bleeding out. And now we get the reveal here. John Wick guy is calling Red Hoodie guy a traitor. He said, being a traitor wasn't enough, was it? You'll kill children, won't you? And he says with the USBs, like, I never fail a mission. And they look like they're about to kill him, but behind the scenes, Batman and Wolverine girl and Jedi guy have all been working together, ripping off like pieces of their suit and using Wolverine's lighter fluid. She had a lighter with her, and they're mixing all that together in some bottles that I think Jedi guy had, and they're making Molotovs.
Oh.
So they make Molotovs and they throw them at the group of guys that are about to kill John Wick here, and it distracts them enough and actually disables the Red Hoodie guy because some of the fire gets on his face.
Oh.
So now he's disabled and all the sprinklers are going off and everybody's freaking out. And it looks like Red Hoodie guy is like shooting around now because he's like blinded from the fire on his face, and he's just shooting around everywhere, causing a scene. And in that destruction, all the fire and all the shooting, I think a bunch of pipes get burst down there in the area, and the fire's spreading, and it causes an explosion in the parking garage, and it's felt through the whole convention center, and now everybody at the convention center is aware something's going on. They all believe it's a terrorist attack. And so everybody's freaking out, trying to get out. Now it's a big thing. And the kids have scurried off with John Wick. They're dragging him out of there.
The kids switch sides super hard.
I think they just don't want to see anybody get killed, I guess. And they see like, oh, it looks like there's something sketchy's going on with Red Hoodie guy because he's got like guys on his side now, and they killed all the other guys. I guess they just didn't want to see somebody get killed.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess it is like a weird scenario for them, and I guess for the reader too, because we don't really know who to trust. But as far as I know, Red Hoodie guy's story could still be true. Like, the corporation's doing this bad stuff, but that doesn't mean that he should kill people, though.
Mm-hmm. And so we move on. Now that there's been like an explosion in the convention center, everybody's freaking out. Security has found the guard and Thanos and Stan Lee locked in a closet back there, and so now everything has been revealed to the public. Now this isn't like hiding anymore, no secrets. Everybody knows what's going on. Well, for the most part, they know there's like people in the building with weapons and explosions going on. And so now everybody in the parking deck except for Red Hoodie guy and two of his two of his goons are dead. He just like there's a bunch of people that have just been killed by like car explosions and like rubble. There's a lot of dead people down there, and so everybody's leaving the convention center. Batman's parents get split up because the mom and son, the mom and little brother are trying to head out the door, but the door eventually gets blocked by one of the goons. He shoots some security guards and he points the gun at the rest of the people trying to leave, which includes the mom and little brother. And the dad actually ran off looking for their other son, so he's not there anymore. He's off somewhere else. The kids are now holed down in some room inside the convention center, I guess, trying to tend to John Wick, who's bleeding out from his chest. Wolverine girl, again being MVP. Apparently, she's really good at first aid. She is able to sew him up a bandage to stop the bleeding. And then here's where we get the he's trying to leave, and they're like saying like, no, you tell us what's going on, we're gonna have to come with you, you better tell us what's going on. And he ultimately does. He said, I'm with the GDIS, I think it would be like the French FBI, the General Directorate for Internal Security. He's national security. And so he's saying the man that red hoodie man manipulated you. He's one of our agents, or was, before he stole some top secret defense information and joined the ranks of a terrorist organization. If he gets out of here with that drive, the whole country's in danger.
Okay, that does track with everything that we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm. And I believe him. You know, we get confirmation of it later on, but at this point, I believe him because I mean, his guys looked way more official than the goons that showed up to help Red Hoodie guy. They looked like national security, whereas these goons that showed up to help Red Hoodie guy are just wearing like long sleeve black shirts, like biker gloves and khaki pants. I mean, they're just dudes. They ultimately just leave with him because they won't stay behind like he's telling him to. And they said that he's like, we helped you out, we're going with you. And all the police have shown up on the scene now, including the Commissioner Gordon here. He's trying to control the situation. All the cosplayers outside are asking the police to help out. They're like, hey, we're going to go in, we're superheroes. We're going to go in there and help out. Goku's out there asking to help out. They turn them all away, telling them, like, nah, get out of here, you little jokesters. So by now, anybody left inside the convention center has been caught by goons. Like I said, one of the guys blocked off the exit, and nobody else is allowed out. And it looks like Iron Man guy is in that group. He was not able to get out, so now he's part of the hostages. And it looks like Red Hoodie guy's ultimate plan is he's waiting for a helicopter to come pick him up on the roof. That's like his escape plan. But he's like wasting time with the police. He's giving them like fake names, telling them like, hey, what I want is I want people to. I want you to let these guys out of prison, but none of them are actual real people. He names Mikey Myers, Jackie Voorhees, Teddy Krueger. These are not real people. Horror references. Some guy starts shitting on Iron Man for not wanting to help, because everybody in this book's very serious about when you wear a superhero costume, that means you want to be a superhero, so you got to do superhero stuff. And he's like, Iron Man, why aren't you trying to help any of us? Why are you just standing around? And he's like, it's just a suit. And then one of the guys from the hostage group, Spartan Man, attacks the guard with a chair, or at least tries to. The goon guard dodges it and throws him down some stairs, and notices that coming up the stairs was our group of kids with John Wick. And now he's chasing them, and they've been discovered, so they have to run away because he's got a gun. Which ultimately concludes with them running off and then confronting each other. They have to fight. John Wick hits him with a baseball bat, but apparently this particular guy is just like, they call him the Finn because he was hit in the head with a hockey puck as a kid, and so now he no longer feels pain. And so he's apparently just really tough guy, and John Wick tries to fight him but is unsuccessful, and he's beaten down.
I thought he was gonna be called the Fin because he has like a hockey puck stuck in the top of his head or something, like a shark fin.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't quite get the it may be a reference to his hair. He's kind of got
Uh,
like a plump of hair on the top of his head, maybe. Everyone runs away because he's still got a gun. So John Wick is beaten, and the rest of the kids try to run away. Everyone makes it away except for Wolverine Girl and Pikachu. They have to hide because he's too close to them, and he would shoot at them if he saw them. That ends up with Wolverine Girl finds a a barrel with explosive chemicals in it, and as he's coming into the room that they're in, she knocks off the top of it, and it like fires itself across the room at the goon, knocking him down. But he's a tough guy, so he's still not down.
Make it where not feeling pain is like the same as just being like indestructible.
If he's not knocked out, he's still good to go. That's what it is, I guess. And so he knocks out Wolverine Girl, and now it's just Pikachu against him. And Pikachu gets a fire extinguisher, very much like in Batman's imagination of the earlier fight. He gets the fire extinguisher and shoots him down with it, and I guess he hits him, and it finally defeats that goon. The rest of the group are trying to save the hostages because you remember Batman's brother and mother are a part of the hostages, and there's now a fire around the room blocking the door to get in there. So the only one that can get in there now is Captain France, because Captain France is alive now because he revealed that he had a bulletproof vest underneath his clothes.
What?
He's really his suit is legit. He's really prepared. And also, in addition to the bulletproof vest, his suit he claims is actually it's like fire retardant. This is like he was like this is like my dad's actual racing gear. With his gear, he just walks in there, walks into the fire through the door, is trying to pull everybody out of the room on fire.
That was actually a pretty cool twist, but it also heavily confuses me on why he came here like fully ready to do superhero stuff.
He's takes out of everybody else, he takes it the most seriously, and he's like, I'm not just wearing a costume. I wear this because I want to be an actual superhero. From what I gather, that's why he went so hard with it. You never know what you're gonna run into. I don't think he brought that. You know, there was a bunch of guys in that room with guns. I'm thinking maybe he picked it up from somewhere. I don't know. I don't think he brought a gun. I don't. I mean, this is France. I don't think he would have had access to a gun. And then we're getting to the end here. So Captain France is saving all the hostages in the fiery room, and the rest of the kids make it to the roof. I guess the rest of the kids being Vlogger Girl, Batman, and Jedi. They're on the roof, and Red Hoodie Guy and his goon are trying to escape with a hostage. This hostage being Batman's little brother.
I was thinking it was gonna be his mom.
Nah. But Captain France is able to save all the people in the smoky room, being a real hero out there. And then looks like Jedi Guy runs up behind the goon, takes him out in one hit with the hilt of his lightsaber.
Good.
Impressive. Very impressive. And then, so now left we have Batman and Vlogger Girl both fighting the Red Hood Guy. Batman runs in, tackles him away from his brother because he's got a gun on him, so you got to move fast. Vlogger Girl hits him in the face with she's got some metal rod that she picked up from somewhere. I don't know where she got that. She's some sort of metal rod. And the Red Hoodie guy's ultimately like, you know what, fuck this, you can have the hostage, whatever. I'm just here for my helicopter because the helicopter's there. And he starts climbing up the rope ladder to the helicopter to get away. Batman does not want him to get away because he's still got that USB drive that we know about. We got to get that from him. And then he shoots he pulls out the gear. He pulls out the grappling hook to try it out for the first time. The hairdryer. It doesn't work. It shoots out. The whole line shoots out. That's impressive enough that he got it that far. But it doesn't. It kind of falls to the ground. It doesn't have enough power to get up to him. And the brother takes the hook and he says, "Just give me that. Let me do this." And he rips the hook out of the dryer and just swings the grappling hook himself and throws it, and it catches on Red Hoodie Guy. um, and they pull him off of the helicopter ladder back down to the roof.
That is not what I thought they were gonna do, but that makes sense. Yeah.
And then now it's like a 1v1 between Batman and Red Hoodie guy. I don't know why, because the little brother and the Jedi guy and the vlogger should all still be up there, but Batman has to do the rest by himself. He fights this guy in a one-on-one, and Red Hoodie guy just beating him up because this is some 14-year-old kid and he's an adult. And then Red Hoodie guy picks him up and is like talking shit to him, and he's like, "This is not like a movie. This isn't. You're not a superhero, kid. You know, this is not how it was gonna go." And then he pulls out a glue gun from his kit, because on his belt he's got all sorts of tools to fix up suits. He pulls out a hot glue gun from his belt, and he stabs it in Red Hoodie guy's eye and like injects the hot glue into him, and so now dude's eye is just done. Um, and then I think Vlogger Girl comes out and finishes him with a fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher is an instant KO in this universe.
Everybody's using them, man. They're all over the place. So now he's knocked out, been left behind by the helicopter. He has lost. That is, they have won the day. We catch up with Captain France. He's being wheeled out on a paramedic rolling bed. He's all burned up, and he's not in his suit. It looks like for some reason he has taken off his suit and dumped it. And everybody's wondering where Captain France is, because they don't know that he's Captain France, I guess, because he was wearing a helmet the whole time.
Maybe it got too burnt up.
It is pretty
Like
burnt
it was
up.
fired. Yeah.
He's all burnt up himself. Now the police all come in and do the investigation, and Batman has to run back there to grab the USB drive because he forgot about it. But everybody else makes it out of there, and then I think Red Hoodie guy may die here, because he comes up to Batman as Batman's trying to leave after getting the drive, and Commissioner Gordon shoots him. So that may be why the only person left to interrogate is Batman, because that's where Commissioner met him when he was there with Red Hoodie guy, and so he's like, "What do you know about him?" But I guess they could have also asked John Wick, because he's an actual like security agent. Probably had more valuable information. But he's just a kid. So ultimately they like search him, and they search his belt, and they ask what everything is. He has the USB drive in his belt. This is not explained as far as I know. He doesn't give them the USB drive. They ask what it is, and he's like, "It's nothing. It's just it's just like my stuff." And they he's just a kid, so they just give it all back to him. And I guess the police here didn't know about the missing drive, because if they had contacted the security guy, he would have told them like, "Yeah, that's what we were looking for."
The security guy may be not at liberty to say it. Like it could be a super secret
Yeah,
thing
like the
where they
police
didn't work with
can't
the
know.
police.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm sure the police would have been already involved in this. But
I will say it is weird that he told the kids then, if that's the case.
Right. Normally that wouldn't happen. You wouldn't tell them like super secret information, but I guess he's like, well, like literally like everyone I work with just died in there, and the only ones left alive that helped me out are you kids. So if it's the only thing that will get me that drive, I might as well.
Oh, true, because he then sends them out. Well, then John Wick should show back up later and be like, "Where's the drive?" or whatever. Is what you'd think.
Right, that's it. It's the weirdest part of the whole book for me, because we just get everything's cleared up, and the news is really concerned about Captain France. Captain France is like heralded as like the hero that saved everybody in the convention. Not much is known about any of the kids and what they did. It's just about Captain France, and everybody's wondering where he is because he was really mysterious, wearing the mask and everything, and he just left and no one ever saw him again. And so kids at home just happy about the publicity. And his dad's like, "I hope they find Captain France. That guy's a hero." And we see that Wolverine girl and Pikachu guy are like studying together. So maybe there's something going on with them. We don't know, And she's yelling at him to concentrate because he's not concentrating. you know. And then we see Iron Man dude at home messaging Vlogger Girl, and she's not responding to him anymore, um, because Vlogger Girl and Batman are now together.
Oh, nice. I'm glad that like fully transitioned over.
Yeah, and other than that, yeah, the last thing we get is we see, you know, John Wick is at like an office party. He's he ha- all over his cat. He has a cast, and all over his cast, he had the kids sign it. But apparently, nobody else knows who like saved him because apparently he didn't tell anybody about that because he just said that he had some help out there, and that's how he made it out alive.
With them signing the cast, you can maybe assume that the kid gave him the drive at some point.
Right, right. Maybe that's the only thing because I was like, why would? I guess that's why he didn't give it to the police because it's too top secret for the police to handle.
Which I
It's
guess
not
is
for the
smart of the
police.
kid to have done, because the kid could have given it to the police, but
Right, he
I'm glad
didn't
he
know.
didn't.
Yeah, I
Right.
guess he may have met up with the agent later on and gave it to him because the cast signing does seem that they would have had that. That means they had contact with him later. Um, see some. They lastly they see some Batman and Jedi Kid are now uh, out of costume in regular clothes, and Jedi Kid had apparently broke his leg or something because he's got crutches. They see some old lady getting bullied for some by the same guy that stole Jedi Kid's original lightsaber. This guy just goes around bullying kids and old people. Apparently, I don't know. And they Batman and Jedi team up to beat him down. They beat his ass. All right, there you have it. That was Cosplay. I had a great time doing this video with you, Nick, having this conversation about this book here. I will say it was a very enjoyable book to read. Definitely not perfect, but it was entertaining to say the least. And I hope we'll be able to do this again some other time. I'll probably be back with a different comic book conversational topic. No
But I had a
worries.
great time, my dude. I would love to do this again in the future.
Thanks for coming out.
Have a wonderful day, my dude.